TikTok star. He's got more followers than me. 2.5 million. So here he is. He's 19, and he was murdered Monday morning. Turn off the TV for a moment, Mama June. Because I'm about to talk about you and your fat family. Nothing worse than having a gay man with you. She's not the greatest singer. Like, she needs help with the auto-tunes and all those buttons in the studio.
I am not cognitively impaired, you know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison.
Wendy Williams was a force of nature, unafraid of consequences or making any celebrity feel uncomfortable. She was a straight shooter and did not hold back, which made her one of the most popular celebrity gossipers in the business, but for all the wrong reasons. A former DJ known for her controversial direct style was given a 6-week trial on her own TV show, The Wendy Williams Show, on Fox in 2008 and was quickly picked up due to its rapid popularity. The show generally consisted of celebrity gossip and news, with her giving her unfiltered opinion. The show would have a successful run of 13 seasons before its cancellation in 2022, where she would have the unfortunate fall from grace for very complicated reasons. In 2013, she announced with her husband at the time and manager Kevin that they were launching a reality TV production company called Wendy Williams Productions, where they would focus on reality TV, non-scripted TV shows like Queen of Media and the Wendy Williams Experience. She would go on to become part of kind of mainstream pop culture, becoming a regular presence at like major award shows, fashion events and entertainment panels. Wendy addressed celebrity rumours and was more than happy to call out celebrities on their BS, while others in her position would ask more softball questions and praise them. She also had a segment on her show called Ask Wendy, where audience members would ask for her personal advice. She broke barriers too at the time, being a strong, powerful voice for black women on TV. Now, she would earn a decent amount of money doing so, making an estimated $10 million a year for 180 episodes per season. She would also average around 2.5 million viewers per episode. But her totally insensitive attitude that drew in the big audience for her show did cause her a lot of controversy over the years, and in some ways it would be part of the reason why she would lose her show. Now, before we get into these controversies, I think it's important to mention here that she did struggle with a coke addiction as well as alcoholism throughout her life, and while she worked as a DJ in the 80s and early 90s, she actually used cocaine to stay awake during late nights and early mornings on the air. Before her on-screen controversies, one of her most infamous one was with Whitney Houston in 2003, and during the interview she asked Whitney about her drug use, and at the time there were strong rumours that Whitney was a coke addict, and to which Whitney Houston did not respond too kindly to that question.
So Whitney, as far as you stand with drug use, is there drug use going on at this present time?
Who are you talking to?
To you, Whitney. You.
No, you're not talking to me. I'm a mother. Only my mother has privy to that information. You talk to your child about that. Don't ask me no questions like I'm a child. You talk to your baby about her, what she gonna be confronting and what she got to deal with. Don't ask me like I'm a child, because I'm not a child, Wendy.
In 2006, Wendy Williams revealed on her WBLS radio show that Method Man's wife, Tamika Smith, had been diagnosed with cancer, despite the fact that the rapper and his wife wanted to keep that information private. Now, following Williams' on-air revelation, Method Man actually appeared on a show called The Breakdown, where he called out Wendy for outing that information.
I'd like to thank Wendy Williams for bringing that to the masses, because she didn't have to go on the radio and say that shit. I like to keep stuff like that private, but yeah, she was sick.
But everything's all right now. All right.
Better than what it was.
Well, then that's what's up.
Definitely better than what it was.
Method also would go on to say that he thought that Wendy was being mad tacky and disrespectful for sharing that information, and that even her family members didn't know that she was sick. He also stated that you can attack me any way you want to, I'm in the entertainment business, but don't attack my family. Now, when it comes to her time on the Wendy Williams Show, the controversy of course followed her, some of her comments of which were unnecessarily cruel. In 2020, she mocked Joaquin Phoenix's appearance, mocking his cleft lip by pulling her lip up to imitate it. She received a lot of backlash and did eventually apologise and promise to donate money to cleft lip organizations. When Drew Carey's ex-fiance was murdered after being thrown off a balcony, Wendy made a joke by saying, "Come on down," which is a famous line from The Price is Right.
Killed not by Drew, but by the ex. Come on down.
Which Drew Carey presented. Now, to say that's an insensitive thing to say is beyond an understatement in my opinion. But it didn't stop there. Another example I can give is in 2021, a TikToker by the name of Suave was murdered at only 19 years of age. And when he went on a show making a joke saying,
well, he's a TikTok star. He's got more followers than me. And as far as TikTok, I don't use that at all. I don't know what that is. I don't want to be involved. So here he is. He's 19, and he was murdered Monday morning.
which, again, not the best thing to say and not something you should be joking about on TV. She also told gay men to stop wearing our skirts and heels and said women should have fashion exclusively.
And stop wearing our skirts and our heels. Just saying, girls, what do we have for ourselves?
Which, of course, you can imagine the LGBTQ plus activists and celebrities called her out for being ignorant and divisive, and she would later apologise for that, claiming that she misspoke. Now, in her defence, I will say there's a couple of feuds with celebrities that she had that I'm definitely not upset about. For one, there's the Kardashians. If you watched the video I made a couple of years back on the Kardashians, you know I'm not a big fan of them. So she would often call Kris Jenner a pimp in regards to the fact that there's rumours that Kris released Kim's porn video to the world. She would also consistently call Kim Kardashian talentless, which, you know, again, I think is a fair point. I don't fully agree with everything she's saying here, but I am certainly in the same ballpark as her. So that's one instance where me and her will definitely agree. Initially, Wendy dismissed Britney Spears' conservatorship struggles in 2019, calling her not playing with a full deck. However, when she watched the Framing Britney Spears documentary, she completely changed her stance and believed that Britney's father should be in jail. One of her most infamous feuds was with Puff Daddy himself, Mr. Baby Oil Diddy. This feud started in the 1990s on a radio show at Hot 97. Wendy was one of the first to call Diddy out. She claimed that he was bisexual, suggesting he had relationships with male rappers and producers. She also claimed that Diddy blacklisted artists and manipulated contracts to control musicians under his Bad Boy Records label. Now, there's claims that Diddy reportedly used his industry connections to get Wendy fired from the Hot 97 show in the late 1990s, and Wendy claimed that she was blacklisted from major stations because of her comments about him. And in fairness to Wendy, one, she was very brave and courageous to call out the things that Diddy was doing, because as we know nowadays, it seems to be pretty much true considering some of the fucked up things he's done. And also, I would also argue it's very courageous of her to call out someone that seems to have so much dominant control in the music industry and not being afraid of the consequences. In 2019, she was also honoured with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In the final years of her show, Wendy did begin to have some mental health problems, suffering from Graves' disease, which she had since the 90s, hyperthyroidism, lymphedema. There was also concerns about her cognitive decline, which would eventually lead to the abrupt ending of her show in 2022. The beginning of the end kind of began in October 2017 when Wendy collapsed live on air while dressed as the Statue of Liberty. She was in the middle of introducing a segment when she just suddenly staggered, looking shook, and just fell over. She claimed that she was overheated, but many believed it was more serious than that she could have potentially had a stroke. In 2019, she also reveals that she had relapsed with alcohol and was staying in a sober house for addiction recovery.
For some time now, and even today and beyond, I have been living in a sober house.
And it's believed that she was triggered when she found out that her husband had a secret affair and a child with a mistress. It was also reported that during this time that her husband was using a good chunk of her money on the mistress and the child. And when he did eventually divorce her husband, it is also reported that he received a huge chunk of money in that payout. Now, it's also important to mention too, when it comes to Kevin, the manager, and her ex-husband, he had a control of all her finances for many, many years. Now, in September 2021, Wendy was then rushed to the hospital for psychiatric issues just before season 13 was set to premiere. And some reports suggested that she had relapsed with alcohol and that she was found drunk in her apartment, and the producers as a result delayed her return and many guest hosts would fill in. Now, during the time when she returned on the show, people began to question her cognitive abilities as she began to have slurred speech, She was forgetting words, she was staring blankly in between segments, losing track of conversations, and forgetting celebrities' names. Reports claim that she was struggling with early onset dementia or alcohol-related brain damage. And in February 2022, the show would be cancelled. And unfortunately for Wendy, things started to spiral worse even after this. In the same year, Wells Fargo froze Wendy's bank accounts, claiming she was of unsound mind, and the bank claimed that she was being financially exploited and should have legal guardianship of her finances. Wendy fought in court to regain control, but lost the case. A court-appointed financial guardian was given full control over her money. Now, as of recording this video, she has just recently signed an affidavit asking a judge to release her from her guardianship, claiming that she has regained capacity to function without a guardian, and she also claims that she does not have any sort of dementia, despite many doctors claiming otherwise, and is due to be assessed by a doctor, so time will tell on that. In January of this year, she was interviewed on The Breakfast Club, where she claimed she did not have dementia and she feels like she's in a prison, that she has no control of her life, and she seems to kind of hint that perhaps she's being punished and that it could be potentially some other unknown entity in the industry that did not like what she had to say anymore.
Wendy, tell us what's going on.
Well, first of all, to start with, my niece Alex knows a lot as well, you know, but I am not cognitively impaired, you know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying?
And she is being punished, you know what I mean, for whatever reason that other people are coming up with as to why it is she has to be kept in this position.
Now, it's fair to say that Wendy has had a controversial legacy, both from her radio and TV years. And I think a lot of the shit she said over the years was simply wrong and hurtful and sometimes just disgusting and tone deaf. However, I can't help but have some sympathy for her and her recent struggles, and I do wish her all the best when it comes to that. If she does have dementia like the doctors claim, there isn't really much going back for her. At 60 years of age, it's heartbreaking for her. And on top of having Graves' disease and lymphedema, to say that what she's going through is rough would be a huge understatement. Ultimately, I would have mixed feelings about Wendy and her show. I think she should have been a kinder, warmer, more empathetic person, but I can also understand the juxtaposition of like her being outspoken and brash and controversial is what got her popularity. So I can understand why she would continually feed into that, because people loved it. She did revolutionize celebrity gossip. She brought raw, unapologetic, and often brutal style to TV. She kind of like would courageously ask the questions no one else would dare to, even if they were insulting. Sometimes they were funny, but they were generally entertaining to people. And I think she will always be remembered as one of the most entertaining yet controversial kind of fearless voices in the entertainment industry. And I think a lot of people found that refreshing, because even to this day you find a lot of celebrity gossipers tend to be very kind of polite and following a script and formulaic, and it comes across, I think, as kind of fake. So when I was kind of researching about Wendy Williams, and I'd heard stuff about her over the years, I honestly was not expecting to have much sympathy. I thought she was brash and cruel, and I thought she was a bully a lot of the time, and in some cases she was, but I'm kind of left feeling more sympathetic towards her and her issues, and she's definitely had people in her life that have fucked her over, and I think that plays a role in her behaviour. I wouldn't give her a full pass in terms of some of the things she's done, but I would certainly have a lot more sympathy for her than for the other talk show hosts that I've covered in the last few videos I've made. But that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe as always if you enjoyed the video. Let me know as always in the comments down below what you feel about Wendy Williams. Do you think I'm being harsh? Do you think I'm being fair? Oh, just to say as well, if you're new to the channel, because I've gotten a few new subscribers the last couple of weeks, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I'm currently nearly at 1,000 subscribers, which would be a huge milestone, so hopefully I'll get there. I really appreciate every single person that takes the time to watch these stupid videos I make. It's highly appreciated. I hope that you continue to come along and watch some more with me, as I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.